Next case, Kenyatta Dennis. All right, if you all will both raise your right hands, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, you're both sworn. Say your full name for me.
Kenyatta Dennis.
Ms. Dennis, you're here today on 21 SR 988, and your probation officer has filed paperwork with the court alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes,
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
yes.
You ready to go forward?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Go ahead.
Judge, on 21 SR 0988, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to report to probation as ordered, having missed 2 of 11 scheduled appointments. The defendant failed to pay the court fines and fees as ordered or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $204. The defendant failed to complete a substance abuse evaluation by the extended date of May 19th, 2023, as of the date that this petition was drafted. The defendant failed to complete a DUI school as ordered by the extended date of May 12th of 2023, as of the date the petition was drafted. The recommendation on this case is for her to report to probation as directed, payments of $76 biweekly, zero tolerance for 120 days, proof of a substance abuse evaluation within 30 days, proof of DUI school within 60 days. Her next report date would be next Wednesday, September the 27th, between the hours of 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. If no payments are made within 60 days, to convert the fine to community service at a rate of 6 hours per week.
Okay. All right, so 2 questions, Ms. Dennis. Number 1, do you admit to the violations?
Yes,
And is that recommendation acceptable?
yes.
Okay, I think so too. You've got plenty of time left. And I was listening carefully because I knew you had a lot of boxes to check and to make certain they were spread out properly. So I think I think you and I are going to be okay.
Okay, can I give you this?
So-
Okay,
so-
yeah.
You have the evaluation completed?
Yes.
Okay. So this says that yesterday you completed your substance abuse evaluation with Ryder Tomorrow's. Have you given this to Director Matthews' office yet?
No, I emailed my probation officer.
Okay, that's fine. So I think you're reporting tomorrow, is that right?
No, sir.
I mean, no.
Wednesday.
I'm so sorry, next Wednesday. I keep forgetting we're not doing Fridays anymore. So when you report next Wednesday, take that with you.
Okay,
And just make certain they have a copy of it. So, because that's exactly one of the things that you've got to do on here, and they'll check that box.
okay.
So, any questions before we part ways?
No,
All right, so if you'll step back that way, out into the hallway, but don't leave till the bailiffs come talk to you, okay? It's a good idea, because folks usually start asking you questions over there. This is why I'm the luckiest judge in Georgia. You joined the best team, the state court team in Georgia. I just want you to know that. So.
If we don't say so ourselves.
I mean, every day I'm like, I do something and they're like, oh, we already got that. We took care of that. That part's checked off too. And I'm like, I am very, very lucky to be sitting where I'm at. Okay. All right, so that was Ms. Dennis. I'm gonna skip the virtual if everybody's okay with that. The other one, I don't know, I haven't looked at Ms. Houston. Is it Houston or Houston? I don't know. It's Houston.
We have her as McCoy,
Okay.
so.
We'll figure that out then.
Yeah, she's been several different ways in the system.
Yes, so obviously she wanted a bond mod, so I didn't know, I was gonna call that one after this one and see what you wanted to do.
She's wanting to modify just for the court. She wants to take her no contact with Justin Reed and change it to a no violent contact is what she's asking the court to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll get a say on that, so. Okay, well then let's pivot to Darren Dukes. I'm gonna skip the virtual and we'll come back. So Darren Dukes, if you'll come up to the podium, Mr. Dukes.
Is this one a paid terminate? It probably was, wasn't it?
On Dukes? Yes. Terminate, we just need a license.
There you go, sir.
Okay, Mr. Dukes, Director Matthews, you'll please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is not only the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
I do.
All right, you both sworn. You take it and state your full name for me.
Aaron Duke.
All right, good morning, Mr. Dukes. You are here today on 22 SR 551 because your probation officers filed paperwork with the court alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do? You ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
All right, Director Matthews, floor is yours.
Judge, on 22 SR 0551, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to report to probation as directed, having missed 6 of 20 scheduled appointments. The defendant failed to pay the fees as ordered, being in arrears $50. The defendant failed to provide proof of obtaining a Class C driver's license as ordered by the extended deadline of July 29th of 2023. The recommendation on this case is for him to report to probation weekly until the case terminates. Payments of $35 a week to remove the condition of obtaining a license. He's eligible, he's been eligible since 2014, but he needs to do DUI school and there's not enough time remaining to complete that. His next report date would be next Wednesday, September the 27th, between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m.
Okay. So we're gonna remove the license. All right, Mr. Dukes, 2 questions. Number 1, do you admit to the violations?
Yes.
All right. And is that recommendation acceptable to you? Okay. I agree. It takes one of the things that you're clearly not going to be able to do off the table. And so although this is technically a revocation hearing, it actually ends up balancing the 2 out so that you can have a better shot at successfully completing your probation. So, so if it's all the same to you, I'm going to accept that and make it the order of the court.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's do that then. Okay. Well then, if you, do you have any questions for me before the part was?
No, I just had the paper she had given from the last time I reported, that was 24. See if I paid that, my case might be terminated.
Well, that's what we're trying to set it up because you can't, you're clearly not able to get your license back. Even though you qualified, it's clearly either a financial or some sort of difficulty that you can't overcome. And so we're removing that from the list to try to give you items you can complete and get your case closed.
Okay.
Because that's our goal.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else?
Yes, sir.
All right. So if you will wait out in the hallway for the bailiffs, they'll come out and talk to you and give you your next set of instructions.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
So head back that way and then out the door. That's a good solution. Good job. All right. If y'all will bring Miss McCoy Houston, and let's see what she's looking for. Miss McCoy. Is Reed here?
I advise her that it would be in her best interest to have him here without giving her legal advice.
Right. Well, it's a reasonable statement. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah,
What do y'all want to do and what does he want to do?
she just pled to a bunch of cases.
If both of you will please raise your right hands. You solemnly swear, or you don't have to raise your right hand. Sorry, I say that out of habit. I'm going to place both of you under oath. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
I do.
All right. You're both sworn. State your full name for me, ma'am.
Cassidy McCoy, Houston.
All right. And Ms. McCoy Houston, you are here because you have, this week you followed the correct procedure. You filed the case. You filed a motion to modify your bond. You were brought in, and this is on, you have a bunch of cases. This one's on 23 SR 601. There it is. Okay. So tell me, if I do what you want me to do today, what would I do?
Well, can I start by saying what I've done so far since then?
Sure.
So when this situation occurred, defects was involved. So at the time when I got locked up, defects had took kind of like my kids. I had custody, but they put them with like my mom and stuff for supervision until last week. I just got all my kids back for completing my anger management, which I'm still enrolled in, and parenting classes. And now the counselor is trying to do family for me and Justin, for the sake of the kids. So I'm just trying to get it modified to, if I can, no violent contact, because I'm on probation for it. So I know that I cannot violate probation. Obviously, I'm not trying to get any more trouble. But we're trying to finish out this defense case and obviously raise the kids together.
So let me ask a question. So you're saying, so DFAX is involved in your situation. Are you going to juvenile court, I guess?
No, sir. I did everything that they asked me to do, so they never took it in front of the judge. It was kind of like a safety plan, and which I worked really, really, really hard since I came home in April to get my kids back. I've been fighting with DFAX, and I finally got them back the day I went to felony court on the 13th and got the felony charges dismissed.
I see that.
So that's really, I had to do my safety plan before I could do anything. And I'm still enrolled in counseling. Like, I did what I was supposed to do to get my kids back, but I offered to stay in it. And obviously Justin wants to do it too, but we have to get this modified before we can do it together.
Sure. I'm gonna ask Mr. Shepard, help me a little bit procedural, because you did a lot of domestic. So if she's got defects involved, does that mean the juvenile court's involved as a judge?
Not necessarily. She sounded like she said safety plan, so a safety plan's a voluntary agreement that you would enter into with DFAX, short of there being a juvenile court action filed. So
Oh.
it's like the pretrial diversion of
Yes.
juvenile, kind of think about it that way. It's not binding so much, but if they don't enter into a safety plan or don't follow it, then it's probably going to be a deprivation or dependency, what they call it now.
Right.
That's probably what's coming. So that's like the first involvement you'll generally have when DFAX gets in the case.
So you and I do this a lot, so you can see kind of where I'm thinking, which is,
Yeah.
what if I put some sort of language in there
Yeah,
that
that's what I was
says-
going to say. We, as needed to complete safety plan, custody visitation, something like that.
and with defects, supervision and oversight.
I can live with that because that.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense, and just for the court to be aware, because Ms. McCoy is already aware, she's on zero tolerance on a different case for the duration, so she knows, even though we're not talking about that case, the cases are
We're
running
gonna be
concurrent.
talking about that case.
So
Yeah.
she knows she doesn't have an inch to step out of line
Yeah.
anywhere, so I just wanted the court to know, even though it's not on this case, it's on another case, and her and I discussed yesterday, I think she has 217 days remaining on that other case that's all zero tolerance.
Oh yeah, she wasn't getting out of here without that conversation, so I'm with you on that.
Other than this one, I just can't remember off the top of my head. Were any of these other ones family violence or just this one case?
Just this one case, this is a high and aggravated on this one.
Yeah.
The first case is a criminal trespass, then there's this case, which is a simple battery, and then there's 3 additional cases that are all traffic that can terminate once they're completed.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not in agreement with them just moving in together at this point.
No.
But if it's a as needed custody visitation and counseling, something like that, I can live with.
Okay, so Director Matthews, if we could do an order that says basically that she may have limited contact pursuant to direct DFAX instructions and oversight.
You just need to understand, you violate that, you're going to jail for the rest of the time.
Yes,
You
sir.
understand that?
Mhm. Yes, sir.
And with a high and aggravated, you only get 4 days of credit for every 30 days you serve.
Yes,
So
sir.
there's no 4-for-1 jumping back out.
I'm aware.
Okay.
My case may have limited contact with Justin Reed pursuant to the direct instructions and oversight from DFAX in reference to,
The case plan,
Safety plan or case plan. You don't have a case plan then, right? You just had a safety plan.
There was a safety plan, but like I said, I really kind of completed it. we're moving through to keep the counseling open for both of us.
and then add in any juvenile court order if issued. That way, if it says her graduates that, we don't have to. since we're making that language up, will you read it out to us?
Yes.
Yeah, if she's done with her safety plan,
Well, we could certainly broaden it out to just say pursuant to DFAC's written instructions.
We're still monitored also. She's not closing it out until, like, even though I got my kids back, I have to wait, like, she says 60 days to make sure I don't get in any more trouble, we don't get into any fight, anything like that.
How about it says DFAC's written instructions and oversight?
that's,
That'll broaden it up so that I don't want to have to go through this again.
Yeah.
This is our second week in a row together and I'm ready to let her go on with her life. So,
Say that again on the.
I just said, let's broaden it up to just simply DFAC's written instructions and oversight. Because if there's ever an issue, what I want is somebody from DFAC's to say, here are her written instructions and here's what she did. And if they match, then you're okay.
Right.
And if they don't match, then I'm gonna do what I've already told you I'm going to do.
Yes, sir.
So modify the case to have limited contact with Justin Reed pursuant to direct written instructions and oversight from DFAC.
In the juvenile court.
Oh, you want that?
Just in
Okay.
case,
I
yeah,
had it,
just,
take it off.
no, that's all right, just throw that in there just in case. That way, again, that way we don't have to do it again.
So my
Justin
next
Reed have a
one-
case with us?
Do what?
Does Justin Reed have a case?
What a great question. It's REID, correct?
Yes, sir.
He
I recognize the name, but it may just be through your case.
he just finished.
And I'll tell you some brownie points you got with us is you brought a baby for Margaret home, and that makes Margaret very happy. So, okay. All of his cases with us. No, he does have a new case with us. 23 SR 315 is the theft by conversion. It has not been arraigned. Erica, will you throw that on the arraignment calendar? Any of your choosing, doesn't matter. So it's 23 SR 315. I'd like to, since I've got her attention, I'd like to get his attention too. You'll go with that?
Yes.
May I say something?
Yes.
The phone, which is on this case, was mine, which he did bring it back the same night after the phone.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I'm just trying to get that one moving forward because it's in all of our best interest to get all of y'all's stuff under one umbrella. And I've got your attention now, but he's closed his cases, but he's got a new case, so we'll sort that out when we get there.
Okay.
But I can't do that until I get him in here for an arraignment date, so, okay. Does that work for you?
Yes, sir. I'll prepare that.
That's fine. All right, Mr. Shepherd, anything else?
That's
Thank you for that, Mr. Shepherd. All right, you're gonna get, next time you report, whatever day that is, you'll get a copy of the order at that time. We're gonna work on the language just a little bit more. And again, you already know this, but I was never gonna let you out of here without this discussion, which is that you're on zero tolerance. I need to remind you again that I ordered you not to call the probation office
Yeah.
anymore. You are going to report on the day that you're reporting, because if you were, frankly, if they were a private business, we would consider a temporary restraining order how many times you called them. So I'm being a little bit facetious, but you get my point, which is that their job is not to babysit you all day, every day, and answer your every single question. They have over 800 people that they're trying to take care of as we go, and you are taking up a significant amount of resources. And my understanding is calling over and over and over, and that's not part of the revocation, but I'm just telling you that they have every right to control the interactions of their defendants in any way they see fit. But you made it to me, past them, and so I'm saying it. So report is directed, do not call or email their office otherwise. If you have questions, write them down and address them the day you report, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, I just want to make certain, since we did that last week, that that was still very clear, that we're not going to be doing this anymore. All right, does anybody else need anything else with, and your name, do you have an ID that says it's Houston now?
Yes, sir. It's, I didn't bring it, but Miss Matthews has it.
That's fine, just make sure she's got it, because I'm going to update the system. Okay, that's it. You need anything else?
No, sir.
All right, sorry, Margaret, but you got to give the baby back. So,
She's our courtroom mother.
yes, it does a great job too. All right, thank you, Mr. Shepherd. All right, we're gonna pivot to our virtual case, which is Mr. Douglas, I believe. Mr. Douglas, I'm gonna send you an unmute request, and I need you to approve that request.
He's in our accountability court.
All right, I just unlocked it so that you can unmute yourself without her to approve the request. Well,
I'll just get up to speed.
Yes,
all right, it's green. It should be able to hear you.
Yes, sir.
Perfect, okay. All right, you ready, Mr. Douglas?
Yes, sir.
All right, so, Mr. Douglas, Director Matthews, y'all both please raise your right hands. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Douglas, you are here virtually. Is it acceptable to you that we are going to handle your case over this video conference system?
Yes, sir, Mr. Beck.
And Mr. Douglas, you understand you're here today because your probation officers filed paperwork with the court alleging that you were out of compliance with your probation.
Yes, sir.
And you have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself, is that correct?
I am.
Is that what you want to do?
It is.
All right. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to give the floor to Director Matthews. She is going to read out the allegations, and then I'm going to ask, and the state's recommendation, and then I'm going to ask you if you admit, and I'm going to ask you if the recommendation is acceptable. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Judge, on 22 SR 0024, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to pay the court fine and fees as ordered or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $266. The defendant failed to provide proof of obtaining a Class C driver's license as ordered, or to provide proof of a detailed suspension report documentation. The defendant failed to receive written permission to leave the court's jurisdiction. Judge, I'm hesitant on the recommendation solely because I prepared it prior to us actually receiving confirmation that he was in treatment. So I don't know if you want me to go forward with it or.
No, let's talk it through. So if you had, and I'll hear from him too, if you had exactly what you wanted out of this, what would be your goal? Because I have 45 days left. And so what would be what you would want out of this? Provoke the balance, try to
Well, I
navigate some
haven't,
middle ground?
I meant to try to get him time to look at the treatment center he's in, and I did not do that. As long as the treatment center is one that the court would typically approve, my recommendation would to be suspend all fines and fees and conditions, order him to remain in the treatment facility for the remaining 45 days. If he was to leave prior to that, then he would immediately turn himself into the jail.
Mr. Douglas, what's the name of the treatment center you checked yourself into?
Remedy, sir.
Remedy therapy.
Remedy therapy.
Are you scheduled to be there for greater than 45 days from today?
I am.
Who would be a contact that the court could reach out to find out more information about the program?
Hold on 1 second, sir.
Case manager Anna
Case manager Anna
Last name?
Califano.
Califano.
Spell it? Oh, she can, just put her on the screen. She can get on the screen.
I think she's.
Hi, how are you? I'm Anna Califano. I'm the case manager here at Remedy Therapy. And it's ANNA, Anna Califano, CALI, F as in Frank, ANO.
All right, since you're giving testimony, I'm just gonna swear you in real quick. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're gonna give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right, great. Give us a good phone number to reach you. I think we already have an email address.
yes, you do have my email address. The phone number is 561-414-2607.
All right, Ms. Califano, the issue with this case is very straightforward. It has nothing to do with you. You will simply accepted him into your program to provide rehabilitative services, if I'm understanding correctly. Is that right?
Yes.
The issue is he went to you without telling us. And that's not okay. So he left the state of Georgia, he signed into your program. We've not reviewed you all, and frankly, this is no secret to you, not all treatment centers are created equal. Some treatment centers are frankly just a bunch of hogwash where they take their money and make them do work all day. And so we have to evaluate these treatment centers before these people go there. And we also put backstops when they go that says, hey, if you're gonna go, the treatment center has to agree to keep us updated, like within a certain amount of time. And if you leave, they have to agree to notify us, and you have to sign all the HIPAA waivers so that they can tell us whatever we want to know. Are those terms anything that gives you concern?
No concern at all.
Okay. And so if he were to walk out tomorrow, you would have no issue, obviously, assuming and if he refuses to sign the HIPAA waivers, then that's not going to be working. So he's going to have to sign the HIPAA waivers if he wants to stay there so that we can check on him, okay?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. And again, my frustration is that he went to a center without going through the proper channels, and he knew better. And so I don't think this is his first rodeo with me. So I just feel like this is information that should not have been a surprise to him. Let me see if Director Matthews needs any other information from you.
Could we hold this until we vet that place?
Well, he's outside of the state.
He's only got 45 days left. Time we vetted, and then
So if I issued a probation, the only way to toll it,
he has to be absconded.
he's absconded and he's not absconded.
we did.
Well, if I ordered him to, I haven't ordered him to come back. That's where we're at, is that, so you're not wrong at all. Like, I could order him to come back. And if he chooses not to, then I could issue the warrant at that point when he's not there. That would toll it, but at the same time.
I think what we should do, the best channel, is give him an order today to sign all this and get it set up. If not, order him to appear back in court within, I think next week. I think 7 days would be plenty of time to get everything taken care of. When he fails to appear at court next week, if we need to be, then I can immediately toll it. Otherwise, I have to go through a lot of steps.
And that would give you what you're looking for if he's not fully engaged.
Yeah, so they just give you all the time to vet the place, and if you're satisfied with, okay, I'm fine with
And
that.
get the paperwork and stuff like that. I should have that done.
Okay.
That'll work.
I think it's a great solution. Okay. All right. So Mr. Douglas, Ms. Califano, listen up, because here's the instructions. Mr. Douglas, I'm not at all happy that you went to a treatment facility without permission. However, you are at a treatment facility, and we're going to try to honor that even if it's a little bit after the fact. But here's the backstop. You will do whatever it is you need to do within the next 6 days to make certain that you sign whatever HIPAA waivers need to be signed, and you get Director Matthews through Ms. Califano, whatever it is Director Matthews needs to review the place that you're at, to make certain that they comply with the court's requirements for treatment facilities, as well as that we feel like we have a firm grasp on where you are and what you're doing. My directions to you are, you shall, listen to what I'm about to say, you shall appear in the Spalding County State Court in person next Thursday unless you do these things that you're supposed to do. Are you tracking me?
Yes, sir.
So you have an escape clause to stay down there if you do what you're supposed to do, but if next Thursday gets here and you haven't done what you're supposed to do and you're not in this courtroom, then I'm going to issue a warrant for you and I'm going to toll your probation.
May I speak, Your Honor?
Yes.
So I'm in conjunction with, I'm actually in 2 rehab programs. I signed up for a 12-month program, okay? 6 months in-house with 6 months for aftercare, but I could not go to this other part of my program until I completed the 30-day detox program. Okay, so today is my actual graduation date from this program. was rheumatoid therapy, and I'm moving on to Better Tomorrow, which is it's a 5 day clinicals. Uh, so I do so many meetings there. We have it's a house parent. It's a
Hold on, hold on. I need to talk to Ms. Califano. Put her back on the screen. I have an answer. You have the answer I need, Ms. Califano, not Mr. Douglas.
Yes,
Ms. Califano, I need to know where he's gonna be for the next 45 days. I don't need all those details of what he's gonna be doing. I just need to know
okay,
for the next 45 days, where's he gonna be?
okay. So his recommendation after residential was to go to Better Tomorrow. That was recommended through the clinical team.
All right, and is he going to be under your supervision for the next 45 days or someone
No,
else?
he will be transitioned to Better Tomorrow under their care.
When?
This will be this afternoon.
Oh, gosh. Okay, all right, I'm running out of patience. I mean, this is the situation, like, this is why I don't like these situations. I can't keep up. I mean, like, I don't even now know, I mean, I've gotten this all through with you, and now I'm finding out that he's not even gonna be with you for 6 more hours. And I don't know who he's going to, and I don't know who's gonna keep him. So, like, this is why this situation drives me insane.
Your Honor, with all due respect, I apologize for. Oh, Your Honor, you know who I am. I mean, I've dealt with you before. I My life was headed back to the exact same spot that you've been dealing with me on and off now for many years. So, I don't want to be a statistic. So I cannot. There's too much access for me and people in Georgia. I know I should have notified the court. I broke the rules, and you have every right to be mad at me. But I promise you, I need this program. If not, I won't be. The next stop wouldn't be back in front of you, Judge. It would probably be, in front of Sam's or Judge Edward. I mean, y'all know who I am, and I don't want to be that person. I violated this program. I understand that I had a fine, and I did pay my fine. I didn't report and do all that, even though I know it's 45 days toll, whatnot. But I promise you, if I can just go complete this 12-month program, at the end of this 12-month program, I'll provide you with my driver's license. I'll have my fine paid off, and I won't be the same person who I am right now. If you'll let me do that, please.
I'm coming back to Mr. Shepard's idea because I'm realizing if you're gonna be in this 12-month program and you're not gonna leave the 4 walls of that program, I can issue this warrant.
Better Tomorrow's is an outpatient, it's not inpatient.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
what
I'm
they're
looking
saying,
at.
it's an outpatient.
That's what I'm looking at right now. He's not gonna be confined like he is right now in this residential program. What he leaves to this afternoon becomes outpatient. They have an intensive outpatient and then they have a regular outpatient. So he's
I'm in
not,
an intensive outpatient.
but it's still an outpatient program. It's not the programs that the court typically approves because he's gonna have the ability to come and go as he pleases at those types of locations. I'm quickly trying to go through their program right now.
If I don't meet the qualifications of the program, they immediately kick me out. It's weekly drug tests. I have to go to my clinicals 5 days a week. Everything. It's not. It's all done under insurance. It's not a money making facility.
What if I reset this 1 week? I'm just talking out loud, y'all. What if I reset this 1 week? That give him time to get to the new place, sign all the paperwork. We can make it 0 tolerance for 45 days, and if he doesn't give us all of his check-ins and drug tests and all that, we just issue a warrant. I'm trying to create a simple solution for us, for him not to do what he's supposed to do. I love your suggestions. What do you got?
This is a wild one. I say we reschedule him to appear in person next Thursday. Under the provisions, we know he's not gonna come. Have a told warrant on him. When he completes the program, he submits that, and then we dismiss the case.
Which is what you asked us to do originally.
That's kind of where
And
I
I
was.
liked it. I just didn't know how to make it happen.
But he just understands if he doesn't appear next week, he will have a warrant. They're not gonna pick him up in Florida.
And I could just issue it now, right?
Yeah, just do it now,
Yeah.
and when he completes, he provides everything to us.
Okay, we have an out-of-the-box solution, Mr. Douglas. And I think it's the best bad idea on the table. You ready?
Yes, sir.
It's better than the idea I came up with. So here's the deal. The option on the table is, I'm gonna tell you, I'm out of patience with that you move in between stuff, you left without permission. We have great programs here in Georgia that are not in Spalding County that we would have absolutely been able to fold you into seamlessly without having to have what has now become a 30-minute hearing trying to figure out where are you, who are you with, what are they doing, and now I found out that there's multiples. Here's the deal. My recommendation on this, and I may just do this as an order, is you give me permission to go ahead and issue a warrant for you immediately. The warrant's not gonna pick you up down in Florida. It's a misdemeanor warrant. And if it does, so be it, but I just cannot imagine that happening. It never happens.
The one thing I just thought about though, most places will not take you with a warrant.
I have a way around that.
You do? Okay, but Marty's got.
I knew she had an ace in her pocket on that one, so. All right, and so that way, you will then provide us in 46 days with a certificate of completion saying that, or at least that you've been doing what you're supposed to be doing. No, when you finish it,
I
sorry,
think it
sorry,
when
no,
you
no.
Okay, when you finish it.
I'm so sorry, I lost track of this new plan, it's a much better plan. No, you will actually go finish your plan there, Mr. Douglas, and then you will provide us with a certificate of completion, which will let us hold it open until you're finished. And when you're finished, and you provide us with a certificate of completion, then we will dismiss the warrant and your case will close.
Yes, Your Honor.
And in the meantime, you are going to need to send in all of your paperwork, sign all the HIPAA waivers, and make certain that we can check everything we need to check. This is a very out-of-the-box solution, but frankly, my other solution to this is very simple. I'm just gonna issue a warrant for your arrest anyway. And so this way, at least you get the deal of being able to try to, yeah, because otherwise I'm gonna reset this the next Thursday and I'm gonna order you to appear in person. And then when you don't, I'm just gonna issue a warrant anyway. And if you do, I'm probably gonna just revoke the balance and close this case because I'm out of patience.
I apologize. You can go ahead and issue the warrant, Your Honor, and I'm complete the program.
And do I have your permission to toll the probation?
Yes, Your Honor, you do.
Okay, well, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say technically he's not here, not in the courtroom. And with his permission, we're gonna do this. He gets what he wants, which is he can stay at the program. I get what I want, which is the ability to get him to finish the program. And and we all agree this is a very out-of-the-box solution for this issue. But as you point blank said, Mr. Douglas, you are trying desperately to turn over a new leaf. I'm trying to let you. But you have put the court in a very difficult spot. And,
I apologize.
Well, thank you for that. But I think this is the best idea we've got on the table.
It is.
All right. You tell whoever it is you're going to go see this afternoon that they must, that you have to sign all kinds of stuff to make certain your probation officer knows exactly what's going on.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else? That's
Uh,
great. Anything else?
Yes, sir. Just for the record, could I have Ms. Matthews the email and all that so I can go ahead and get that done today, sir?
Ms. Califano has been emailing us, so she has Director Matthews' email address, and she can share that with you.
I will forward it to Better tomorrow.
She's going to forward it better tomorrow. So.
All right, perfect. Ms. Califano, thank you for your patience. Again, this has nothing to do with you. We're just very familiar with Mr. Douglas, and he just didn't. Again, he did not do what he was supposed to do when he was supposed to do it.
Thank you. I will forward the information to the next transition.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Y'all may remove yourself from the virtual system.
I apologize again, Judge.
All right, you go get sober, Mr. Douglas. That's the best thing you can do for me.
Yes, sir.
I'm not answering your questions right now. Okay, so let's Mr. Douglas, let's knock Mr. Lloyd out. And you're raising your, sorry, Mr. Not Mr. Douglas. Mr. Malloy's raising his hand at me. If one of the bailiffs doesn't mind talking to Mr. Malloy and seeing what he wants, I'm not taking his questions from the crowd. Okay. Okay. let's just take a 5 minute break. So, everybody, we're just gonna take a quick 5 minute break. So long enough for everybody to step to the restroom, get back to your seats. As soon as we get everybody back in their seats, we'll finish up this calendar.
I'm looking.
All right, we're recessed.
Texting me.
So the next item on the calendar is Malcolm King.
Yes, sir.
Mr. King, if you'll step up to the podium there. All right, you both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
I do.
All right, take your down, state your full name for me.
Malcolm King.
All right, Mr. King, you're here today on 21 SR 1890, excuse me, because your probation officers filed paperwork with the court alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, floor's yours.
Judge, on 21 SR 1890, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to report to probation officer as directed, having missed 2 of 14 scheduled appointments. The defendant failed to pay the court fine and fees as ordered, being in arrears $296. The defendant failed to complete community service hours as directed, having completed 28 and a half of 37 converted hours accepted on March 17, 2023. The defendant failed to provide proof of attending and completing the Family Violence Intervention Program as ordered by having completed 6 of 24 scheduled classes as of May 17, 2023. The recommendation on this case is for him to report to probation in person weekly for the duration, payments of $50 a week, convert the remaining court fine to 37 additional hours of community service at a rate of 10 hours per week, 0 tolerance for the duration of active probation. Judge, he does not have enough time at this point to complete the Family Violence Intervention Program. He doesn't have enough time to complete anger management. So my outside of the box idea is to remove the family violence due to his inability to complete it, to then convert that to 10 weekends in jail beginning tomorrow at 6 p.m. He would need to come into my office this afternoon between 1 and 4 so he can receive his jail log.
Okay. 2 questions. Do you admit to the violations?
Yes, sir.
And is that recommendation acceptable?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But,
All right.
Judge,
Go ahead.
I got the community service hours right here that she said about. And now I also got from my family violence teacher. Right here, sir.
That's right. Just tell me. Just
That
tell
my,
me. You go.
That my hours, my community service, that my classes are 20 out of 24. When I didn't report, I still went to took my classes. Here you go right here. He emailed me this.
Are
The
you
reason I
telling-
didn't, and the
Hold
reason
on. Time out. Are you telling me that you only have 4 classes remaining on your family violence?
3 classes.
We could just-
They were approved right here. He's
We could,
supposed,
I mean, I just was going off of the proof that we had was, I mean, he had 18 classes remaining.
Right.
We don't have an update.
So we'll do that. So we'll do the 10 weekend span that he can,
Well, I could do it suspended upon him turning that in.
that's exactly right. So, okay, so what I'm gonna do is her recommendation stands
yes, sir.
of 10 weekends, except I'll suspend it and she'll have the authority to remove that upon proof that you have done what you're supposed to do, which no, I don't wanna see it. You're gonna have to show it to them.
Oh, okay.
So, because I'm gonna take you at your word that what you're telling me is the truth.
Yes,
So,
sir.
But I'm gonna put your freedom where your mouth is, which is that you're saying you've done it.
Yes, sir.
I'm giving you 10 weekends suspended upon proof that you completed it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you'll still end up,
I got the money today to pay the fee, the fine. I
okay,
mean,
so we'll check that
what I
off
was
too.
behind on, I got the money.
Does that work? I'm trying to think that through. If
I
you
can
do
make it
fewer
work.
weekends, would that make it balanced for you? So the 10 weekends would have to start now. What if we made it straight time? And, because that'd be 20 days, what if you made it 30 days straight?
Judge.
All right, she's thinking. I've given her a puzzle. Let her figure it out.
Are you gonna want the rest of the line converted? Because it only has 76 days for me. Once I have that answer, then I can get that.
Yeah, you want to give him some sort of lead time? Because he's saying he could pay before it converts. 24 hours or whatever we've done.
Okay. So what I'm thinking is I'll write it up the way, if you're okay, the exact way I said it. And then I would suspend this order upon him coming in this afternoon and turning in everything he needs to get his case back on track.
Okay. All right, so you've saved yourself potentially a lot of time in jail.
Thanks, sir.
But at the same time, I need you to hear me say that you're kind of on the knife edge of it.
Yes, sir.
So, because if you don't do exactly what you said you were going to be able to do, then, well, not the money. Obviously, the money is a whole issue, different issue. But you're saying you have the money to pay it, and so I'm not forcefully converting your fine to community service work. I'm allowing you to pay it.
Yes, sir.
But if you don't pay it, I got to come back and redo it all. So, am I correct in hearing you say you have the sufficient funds to pay off your
It's
case?
296.
So,
Did she say behind them?
yeah, 297 was what's on there. There's a balance of 665 altogether.
I can pay,
And the only reason I'm saying that is because I don't revoke people who don't have cash. I just have to move it differently. That's all.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll get that done. All right, anything else, Mr. King?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, well, like I said, the time's still there, but you've done what you need to do to give yourself an escape route.
Yes, sir.
So, okay. Then if you will step out in the hallway and wait for the bailiffs, they'll get this thing done.
Thanks, sir.
Do that for me. Thank you. Sorry about that. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lloyd, if you will unmute yourself. No,
He said Lloyd. Mr.
Leonard Lloyd.
Yeah,
Sorry, Mr. Malloy, that was in good faith.
yeah, he thought you said Lloyd.
Yeah, it's clear that was in good faith. Mr. Lloyd?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. All right, Mr. Lloyd, now I'm saying Malloy. Mr. Lloyd, on 22 SR 781, I've lost your video. There we go, it's back now. I'm gonna have you and Director Matthews both raise your right hands. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
I do.
All right, will you please state your full name for me?
Leonard Maurice Lloyd.
And Mr. Lloyd, is it acceptable to you that we're having this hearing over this video conference system?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're here today because your probation officers filed paperwork with the court alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney, but you're here representing yourself? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna give the floor to Director Matthews.
Judge, on 22 SR 0781, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendants failed to pay the court fines and fees as ordered or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $954. The defendants failed to complete community service hours as directed. The defendants failed to provide proof of completing a substance abuse evaluation as ordered. The defendants failed to provide proof of completing the DUI school as ordered. Judge, for the record, prior to the petition being drafted, he has not reported at all, nor will be heard from him since the transition from JAG. The recommendation on this case is for him to report to probation as directed, payments of $224 bi-weekly, a substance abuse evaluation within 30 days, DUI school would be due within 60 days, zero tolerance for 180 days. His next report date would be in person on September 27th of 2023 between 1 and 5.
Okay, Mr. Lloyd, two questions. Number one, do you admit to the violations?
Yes, sir.
And is that recommendation acceptable?
I can't. I'm in Connecticut, so
Okay, well, why didn't you check in with probation? I mean, we've been open since July 1. Why did we make it from July 1 to September 21st with no contact?
no. I got in contact with Kylie Rich. My last probation officer told me that I will receive information on where to report when it switched over. I didn't get an email or anything until like 15th of July, something like that.
And did he respond to that?
I didn't even know how to report or found out how to report.
All right, so your first contact from them was on July 15th?
I think that's what the email, if I could go find the email. You know,
And then my follow-up question is gonna be, what did you do when you got that email?
I contacted her on how do I report? She said report it online, you know, so I got the information and I reported. I got an email from this morning or yesterday stating that she got my report, my online report, and I had an appearance this morning at 9 a.m.
All right, hold on, I'm gonna ask Director Matthews a quick question. What if everything stayed the same except he just was stayed on phone?
I mean, that's fine. She didn't put it on here, so I just read it as it is.
Yeah. Well, no, and I'm still of the opinion he didn't do what he was supposed to do, but I'm okay with that.
Look, I mean, Jack sent an automatic call. It was complete on June 30th that told him to start checking the website.
Yeah.
And sent him emails with that information.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with all that. He didn't engage as he at the level he should have. Okay, so the recommendation would be fine, except convert it to phone report?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, so the recommendation is gonna stay the same, except we're gonna convert it to phone report, okay? Or e-report.
No, I'm gonna leave it on.
Okay.
Oh, phone report, excuse me, phone report.
Next Wednesday, the 27th, between 9 and noon.
Okay, call next Wednesday, the 27th, between 9 and noon.
Is it any way you can send me? I had the last lady's number, but I don't know if it's the same.
Sure, their phone number is 770.
Hold on, sir. Hold on, Your Honor.
That's new on my pet peeve list. I'm so tired of asking folks to write that information and then they tell me to wait. I'm like, you came to court. Like, I'm sorry. Like, just.
770
467
4206.
467.
4206, 4206.
All right, got it.
All right. All right, well, that's it then. You're also gonna need to, they're gonna email you things that you need to sign and email back, okay?
Okay, well, I have a few things to say. As far as, okay,
Now, I'm gonna say, you can say this, but you just got what you wanted. And so I'll go and warn you, the last guy that did that ended up talking me out of doing what he wanted, and he ended up going to jail. I'm I don't know what you're about to say. I'm just warning you that Keegan Prescott came in here and said those same words and then went to jail when he was about to walk out. So just be careful, but go ahead if that's important to you.
It is important.
Okay, then I'm listening.
I just want the courts to know I didn't just ignore the things that I'm supposed to do. You know, now that I'm not unable to drive, getting around on the bus is hard for me. You know, and I'm unemployed. My benefits ran out. The reason I wasn't making my payments was because I barely had enough for my bills. So it was either pay my fine or pay my bills. You know, I'm struggling and I'm looking for work. I had an interview yesterday and I hope things go, you know, I get this job. I'm a dependable person and I'll do what I have to do. You know, so I just don't want the course to think I just ignored, you know, the things that I was supposed to do. I just been going through some things. You know, I just wanted to.
Well, I hear what you're saying, Mr. Lloyd, and you did good right now, talking on behalf, you know, advocating for yourself. That was the right thing to say. Hear me say a couple of things. Number one, I hope your job interview is successful. We really do want folks to successfully complete probation and have their life on a different trajectory. Additionally, if the money is tight, don't forget, you can always convert to community service work or apply for waivers. So just communicate about that with your probation, because if you've got to choose between paying my fine or paying your bills, go pay your bills and convert my fine to community service work. So I'm just saying, there's options. There's options.
Okay, I didn't know that, Your Honor. Thank you.
That's all right. So, okay. And I feel very confident that you're going to engage fully moving forward and get your case moving towards successful closure.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lloyd.
Thank you.
You may remove yourself from the system.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Judge, y'all need us for anything?
No, I don't.
I
Anitra
promised
Thomas?
the 9-year-old I'd have lunch with her at school this morning, so.
Better get that.
Yeah.
How do I get out of here?
No. I forgot to leave it.
We'll see y'all after lunch.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you. Oh, Miss Tony, did you want to see, Miss Tony? I don't know if you've got, let me figure out just to see what we're looking at right here. That's what we're. So, oh, and Marty said she doesn't need that back. You can keep it. Okay. All right, so I guess that one's going that way since it's virtual. All right, so if you'll please raise your right hand for me, both of you. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, take your hand down. State your full name for me.
Demetri Thomas.
Ms. Thomas, you're here today on 22 TK 2183 because your probation officers filed paperwork alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes.
You understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you,
Yes.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right. Do you, you ready to go forward?
Yes.
Okay. Floor's yours.
Judge, on 22 TK 2183, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant's failed to report to probation as directed, having missed 2 of 14 scheduled appointments. The defendant's failed to pay the court fines and fees as ordered, or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $720. The recommendation on this case is for her to report to probation weekly for the duration, payments of $40 a week, convert the fine to 45 hours of community service at 10 hours a week, 0 tolerance for the duration of active probation. Her next report date would be next Wednesday, September the 27th, between 1 and 5.
All right. 2 questions. Number 1, do you admit to the violations?
Yes.
And is that recommendation acceptable to you?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's a good recommendation too. I think it also balances you being able to take the different avenues before they close to you. So, all right. Then if you don't need anything else, I'm going to have you step out into the hallway and wait for the bailiffs out there. Do you need anything else from me?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Malloy, you may come around. After you take this. All right, Mr. Malloy and Dr. Matthews, if y'all both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
I do.
All right, state your full name for me.
Dwayne Lecrae Malloy.
All right, and Mr. Malloy, you are here today, and the reason you were in cuffs is because you were late to court, but you're out of cuffs now, and we're going to go forward with your hearing. Do you want to talk about why you're late, or do you want me to keep moving forward?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm DUI, so I can't drive. I got to depend on somebody else, so I'm late.
Okay. Well, like I said, you're out of cuffs now, and we're going to get your case moving forward. So, all right. So you have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
And you ready?
Yes.
All right. Floor is yours.
Judge, on 22 SR 1131, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendants failed to pay the court fines and fees as ordered, or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $200. The defendant did test positive for alcohol on or about August 31st, 2023 at the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement Office. The recommendation on this case is for him to report to probation as directed, payments of $271 bi-weekly, substance abuse evaluation within 30 days, DUI school within 90 days, 2 weekends in jail beginning on September the 29th and October the 6th at 6 p.m., zero tolerance for 180 days. His next report date would be next Wednesday, September the 27th, between 1 and 5.
Yeah, 8 hours. All right. Do you have, so 2 questions for you. Number 1, do you admit to the violations?
Not completely, because, I mean, I did the community service.
All right, so let's break it up and just be very careful. I have that you failed to pay the fines and fees or do community service work to get caught up.
I've only missed one, Your Honor, and that was on the 31st, when I failed urinalysis test. I've only missed one. I've been reporting on time. I've been paying fines, but when they switched over from JAG to the one across from the post office, that's when everything switched up. Even my payment went up. And I mean, if I don't have it, I can't do it. And at the same time, my job was coinciding with it at the same time because it went from Monday to Thursday. I was free on Fridays.
Right.
Now, a job is not going to accept you missing Wednesdays and Thursdays, or Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I mean, so it really just screwed me up.
Okay, so just remember that you do not have to, if you do not have the fine amount, you can always work it off with community service work. You understand that?
But see, I was told that if I did that, I gotta commit totally. But I mean, if I got
No
a
way they
job,
told
I
you
can't
that.
commit totally because my hours is from 11 to 10:30.
What we tell them is once they accept it, they have to complete it.
Oh, well,
So you can't back out.
that's what yeah, that's exactly correct. So, yeah, they're just simply saying whatever hours you convert, you must complete. It's not a total conversion of your entire fine, which is significant. It's $1,879.50. But what they're telling you is that whatever you convert, you must complete. So if you convert $200, you must do those hours. There's no converting back. There's no changing back. So that's what they're saying. So we need to correct that. And then secondly, if you want me to step into this and create a solution, I will.
I mean, it's just hard to, okay, just like when they switched from JAG to this new place, but I mean, going in between 1 and 5 is also, it's also a problem. Because most of your jobs are, you're gonna be somewhere in the morning or you're gonna be there in the evening. So, I mean, it's reporting between 1 and 5 on what's called it, Wednesday and Thursday, that's, it's kind of hard.
Now, I don't have you reporting twice a week. You're just reporting once a week.
Yeah, well, no, bi-weekly.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, most jobs ain't gonna just let you keep disappearing bi-weekly.
Sure. Well, and unfortunately, I mean, I don't have another option. You're on probation and I need you to report. So, and the hours are when they are. And frankly, one of the things we do is that we allow you a window of opportunity to report instead of a specific time. And so, you know, in my opinion, we've balanced those interests. So I hear what you're saying. I'm not deaf to that, but I'm saying every other week, you know, you need to take a little time off to go check in and get tested. So, okay.
Just for the record, we're open to 6 on Wednesdays,
Mhm.
but the first report date after a revocation, we don't allow that because what happens is everybody shows up at the last moment and those take time. After this first one, I don't know if being able to come in after 5 is gonna assist you or not, but you will have that option.
Does that make
Just not the
sense?
first one.
I mean, y'all know all I can do is try.
Okay.
You know, but I mean, if I gotta make payments and, you know, a lot of jobs are, you know, they're not gonna let you just keep missing every other Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever. You know, most jobs are from 9 to 5, Friday, Saturday, you know, or, you know, Monday to Friday, whatever. I mean, I had already got a job from, you know, Monday to Thursday. So I could report at JAG on Fridays.
Yes.
Now it just switched up on me and I mean, I don't know what to do, y'all.
Right. Well, so the bad news is the report dates changed when we swapped from JAG to the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement.
Yes,
The good news is those times are now pretty much set because those times were changed with extensive consideration and discussion. Director Matthews met with me on several occasions to discuss how this new department was going to work, and frankly, the additional services they can now provide to people that were not available to them as a private probation company, because now they're a Spalding County department, is significant, and they don't really apply to you, so I know that doesn't matter, but I'm just saying the pros outweigh the cons, and you're gonna have to communicate with your employer and say, you know, hey, I'm gonna need to leave early every other week. But I'll also go ahead and tell you that, like, once you get your case back on track, there might be more flexibility, but I can't give it to you during a revocation hearing. But I'm just telling you that there's something we're not talking about here, which is that if you get your case back on track and get off my radar, there's better options than even what we're talking about today. So, okay, I'm gonna adopt the recommendation. I think it's proper. And I added 8 hours of community service work for being late. Mr. Malloy, we want you to be employed. We want you to have a job. We want you to live a good life. And we want to help you with those things. But you have to start by meeting our baseline requirements. And once you do that, then we can really start to work with you.
I'm gonna try my best, Lord.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Malloy. If you'll step out in the hallway, stand in order, they'll get you a copy. I'll run the calendar except after a fashion. All right, anything else? I think that's everybody. You need anything else official before we adjourn?
I don't know. I didn't give you Patrick Douglas.
Mr. Arbor.
So.
Okay, well, we'll figure that one out.